Previously on the Daily Guardsmen.
My main hobby is I'm a big fan of spending time with my siblings, mainly, Thomas, he's a G.
We're gonna go
Exactly,
ahead and
bud.
our
Exactly.
function,
Matter of fact, Thomas.
Oh my god.
Right. Give me that.
Alrighty, fellers, welcome back to the best podcast in the entire Continental Army. I am your host, King.
I am your co-host Magic, and today's guest is Cody.
Hi guys, I'm Cody.
Alright, so one weird thing you may notice, that is not my co-host Bob right there.
Yeah,
See, Bob is taking a break from, that's not Bob, obviously. Bob here is taking a break from Roblox and CA in general, and Discord and all that. So Magic is going to be the temporary host for now. He may become the permanent host. I'm really not sure at this point, but hope you guys like Magic because he might be here to stay.
yeah, guys, don't hate me.
Alrighty, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump right into Mr. Cody here. Can you go ahead and explain to us, when did you join CICG, feller?
Alright, so I joined CICG June 6th, 2022. And about 2.5 years ago, almost.
Have you been in any other regiments or anything?
Yeah, before that, so I left from a second, which I was previously in GMB. I was quite the reg hopper, so I was in GMB for about 2 months. Joined MP for literally 3 days. Then I joined GMB again, joined second for a month, went back to GMB for a month, then went back to second for a month, got really bored in second, and one of my friends, Jacob Kalinius, who you guys may know, told me to come to join him in CICG, so he RT'd me and I joined. Stayed there ever since.
Dude, like holy regiment hopper, dude. How are you not banned?
Well, I was on a list. If you, I don't think a lot of people know that I was on a high com list for regiment hoppers.
Dude, like holy regiment hop. Wow.
Because I was told by a second high com I was on the list, but obviously I don't think I'm on the list now, even if it still exists. Been in CICG 2.5 years. It's been fun, ups and downs, but great regiment, great people.
Do you think obviously, things can change in the future, but do you think you're here to stay in CICG, or are you going to go back on that regiment hopping?
Dude, I'm here to stay. Even if I think about leaving, I really don't want to leave because I love everything about this regiment. Obviously I have great friends here, like you, King, and Magic. I obviously have Billinix, who I've known for years at this point, Wild, and a lot of other people.
23 soldier.
Yeah, man, 23 soldiers to go. But I have a lot of friends here, and I love being with them, and I love this regiment. I love the CICG. It means a lot to me because I've really been here a long time. 2 years, and it means more than just a regiment to me. It's a friend group, a community, and yeah, I think I'm here to stay for a long time.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. I have a lot of friends here and stuff, and I don't think there's any other regiment out there that could provide me that same fun that CICG does.
Yeah, no, I just get a different feeling in here, man. It's like a whole different atmosphere, and I love it.
Yeah, you just get straight bricked around us. I know.
I know, bro. He just loves that feeling.
All right, man. Yeah.
So, Cody, under what circumstances did you join CICG?
All right, so Magic, you might have been here during that time. You might have been gone. I forget, but back in June, I believe Epic Nuke was a colonel and Death was his exo. It was very fun, but we were awful at combat. Nice to see nothing's changed. We were not great at rallying, but it was a super, super duper fun community. There's probably a lot of awful things being said, having to do with racism and a lot of homophobia, but obviously
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
But
that's a W.
But yeah, so it was really fun, and I met all the people that I are still friends with today. I met back then, and I still talk to now, basically, except for a couple of them who turned into Nazis. But that should really be on the point. But it was under very dire circumstances after Epic and Death left, because Billnix would be Colonel, even though he had no experience of Colonel, and all the officers left because they didn't believe in Billnix. So Billnix needed new officers, and I was one of them new officers he needed, so he made me major because he trusted me a lot, and I was major for a long time, and a lot of things happened. But it was pretty dire when I joined. Pretty dire, I'll say that.
So when did you like join CA for the very first time?
The 27th of December, 2021.
Damn.
Oh, I've been here longer than you.
Yeah, all right, bro.
I didn't expect that. All right.
You young bloods.
Yeah.
Young.
But I was RT'd to GMB, so
Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and keep this rolling. This was brought up on Billy's episode. Like I said, it's really old news by now, but of course we have to ask the man himself for his opinion, right? Can you go ahead and tell us why were you demoted from XO and are you inactive?
well, I think that I wouldn't say I'm inactive. I would say that Jeff. I'm not going to leak the entire thing because it's pretty confidential. But basically, Jeff wants an XO who's like super active and can be here a lot. And I've been spending a lot more time off my computer, doing my schoolwork, spending time with my family, and I haven't been here to Jeff standards. Now I won't say I'm inactive. I won't say I'm like some other officers in the past who have had to be decommissioned. I would say I'm still here a lot. I would say I'm still pretty active, not event hosting active, but you will usually see me talking in chats or in a VC. And but I Jeff just did not think I was up to the activity standards of a CICG XO at this point in time. Since the CICG
So when
is
you
CA.
so when you say that Jeff wanted a very active XO, do you think that Wild is meeting those standards?
Maybe a little bit more than me. I wouldn't say he's on every single hour of the day doing everything that anybody would want from an XO. That everybody would want from an XO. Sorry, I think he's active. I mean, he's in VCs. I see him trying to host some IPRs like once or twice a week. But I wouldn't say I'm too far off of Wild's activity. I would say he's about 10, maybe 20% more active than me. But I think he's a good guy. I love Wild. He's one of my best friends. Talk to him a lot. Obviously, I don't hate him. I think he's right. He out of all of our officers and anybody in this regiment, I think he's right for the position right now. And he's a
Do you
good
think
guy.
that do you think that Wild and Billy would agree with your stance on you not being inactive?
That's a tough question because I don't really know what they think. Possibly Billinix, possibly Wild. I mean, it's all up to you know, mystery. Obviously, I've been talking to a lot of people behind the scenes. King. Obviously, I think I've messaged you a couple times, just checking on you.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I've talked to Lucas and Redacted and a bunch of other NCOs, and that's the stuff that people like
Man, you just
Jeff
leaving me
and some other
out.
members don't see. Sorry, Magic. I think I've DM'd you once or twice. But
No, you called him Magic7 cuck.
Yeah, you
oh,
always call me that.
dude, I've been calling him that for about a year and a half, bro. Ever since he rejoined under Billinix, like a long time ago. Because you were here during Billinix's first colonelship, and that's why I called you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's all up to obviously, I think they wouldn't say I'm like dead. They'd say, my activity might have dipped a little bit from a point in time. But I wouldn't say that I don't think they'd say I'm completely inactive. They still see me. I think everybody still sees me and knows that I'm here.
Did you have any sexual relations with any CICG member?
Never in my life. Actually, I made a
Cap.
rule. I actually made
Cap,
a rule
cap,
against
cap,
Cap.
that. And
cap.
I would just like to say that Billinix has dated 2 men in the past, and he's our colonel.
Cut this out. Cut.
Yeah, and I would like to say I would never engage in that kind of activity in this regiment.
So, were you involved in the Lixasia and ISO situation? There's like a three-way going on there?
I was the first person. Seriously though, I was the
Bro,
first person
what?
notified of that. Dude, do you know how like silly it became? Because I got it was a group chat between me, ISO, Rel, and Wild, which you can believe how that went down when ISO was showing us messages of internet relations per se, and it was very, very embarrassing for ISO and very, very entertaining for the three of us.
Yeah,
Eventually
we're
we
not
got to the
also
XCOM.
We're just gonna
And
like
it's
get off.
still-
yeah,
this
we're not
topic.
going to bring up why he was XCOM. We're not going to bring that up. If you know, you know.
Yeah, you know. I would never have.
Alright,
Remember.
Cap. But anyways, keeping on the topic of HiCom and all that, what are your thoughts on Jeff and each HiCom member in CICG?
All right, I'll go down the list from like highest to lowest. Jeff, he's our most active BGen we've had in a while. I've been under many BGens in my time. You know, Majestic,
Old geezer.
Coaster, Tron and Deadly and Vortex. I think the last active BGen we had besides Jeff would be Deadly, because Vortex was completely awful, utterly just terrible at everything he did as
Tron was
BGen.
a terrible
That was
leader.
super inactive. And Jeff's been really active. I think the way he executes things could be done better. But that's what I think about Jeff. I think he's really good. I think he's getting on the right track. Now, Billy, I love him. I mean, there's nothing bad to say about him. Maybe that he's not too decisive with decisions. He's always not been great at that. He's gotten a little bit better over time. But his decisiveness is just not that great. With Wild, this kind of contradicts my statement earlier. His activity and maturity, I'd say. Because, most of the time you see Wild, he's usually messing around. And that's when you see him. Because he usually isn't on until like 7 p.m. EST, which by then most of the day is gone, and he might just be in like a HiCom VC at that. So that's kind of my only issue with him. That's only sometimes though. He's been much more active recently. Now Thunderkid. Thunderkid has great potential. Really, I do think so. I love Thunderkid. He's a great friend of mine, especially when you go way back. But his leadership is not great, and I've talked to him about that. I think a lot of us have. His leadership could definitely improve. I think he just needs time to settle into officer and especially major, since he was ranked quite fast. Faster than I think I probably would have agreed. Because I kind of don't agree with how Billinick's speed ranks off of activity. I agree that Thunderkid's a very good option, though. I think he's active. I think he's good. I think he just has some minor flaws that can be fixed by just him getting more experience in the officer position.
Yeah.
That's my basic opinion on HiCom. I'm not going to write an essay about it.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna go on like the whole tirade about it either. But I'm not gonna go into specifics or anything. But I'll just say I agree with a few things you said. I'm not gonna say what I agreed with, but I did agree with a few things you said there.
Okay.
We all have our opinions about HiCom and all that, but we don't really need to get into all that because they're watching this, and I like my rank.
Yeah.
They're all good people at the end. They're all good people.
Yeah, they're good people. I like them all.
They're good people. Just you gotta be careful what we say.
Just one thing though. What do you think of Jeff's sexual relationship with Christian?
Okay.
Dude, I think this guy needs to get stopped. I think that guy and that needs to be stopped now, bro.
Stop it now. Ban them.
Now, was the Golden Age a real Golden Age?
At the time, yeah. This is a hot take. At the time, yeah, we were probably the second highest rallying regiment in CA. We beat every single regiment but the rifles. The Pennsylvania rifles. We destroyed GMB, and they even had an exploiter and still lost to us.
Oh, I remember that. I was a part of that. That was crazy.
And yeah, we did very, very good. Our seasons wasn't that great, but that's just because CICG, you know how they play in seasons. They're just not great at combat. We didn't have a lot of great combatants back then. And then, but we were very, very good for like about 5 months, so about like 70% of my colonelship, I'd say. And then CA started to die a lot at like the end of June and July, and CA was like really dead. And there was like 2 players in Bunker Hill. So I like to say this a lot: when CA dies, CICG dies harder. And I would do a bunch of crazy things to try to make sure that CICG didn't die, and it turned out to be too much that the House of Representatives, the stupid little shit fucking house with a bunch of little shitters in it, they didn't like what I was doing with CICG. And famously, one person in there called me Hitler. But yeah, so I'd eventually be removed. But I think the Golden Age was was quite the Golden Age.
So going back on what you said about Hitler, do you agree with his
Oh
ideals?
my god. Oh yeah, I have no comment.
Answer the question.
Yeah, answer the question.
Answer the question.
I
Answer the
plead
question.
the fifth. I plead the Fifth Amendment.
It's the 4th. Wait, no, it's not.
Oh, correct. No,
It's
not
the
the fifth.
fifth.
This guy
It's the
doesn't even
fifth.
know our Constitution. How do
No,
you call it an
no,
American
wait,
citizen?
wait, give me a sec. I'm gonna pull up the best amendment. Actually, the worst.
Dude, they
amendment.
they haven't
This guy's
taught
pulling
that
up
in
the
middle school
Constitution.
yet.
Yeah,
They haven't taught it in middle school yet.
They haven't got there in 4th grade social studies.
The 13th Amendment is the worst amendment in U.S. history.
Dude,
Because it
like,
freed the slaves. Ha 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 ha. Because it freed the slaves. Ha ha ha. All right. With that being said, Cody, I want your honest opinion on the 7th Line Infantry. What are your thoughts?
Well, they're just inactive now. I don't see them anywhere. But at their peak a couple months ago, their entire officer corps, except for like Max, was like a bunch of assholes to CICG, including myself. They were a bunch of cocky pricks who only cared about
Okay.
combat and egos, and it was they were just really really rude. They were very very toxic, and the biggest one would be Julius Irving, whatever his fucking stupid name is. And so, you know, 7th was a really, really toxic regiment. I think with Rel being CGen, he's really cut down on these toxic and these toxic trolls that were ruining CA. I think there's still a couple out there, even in the opposite corps, who never get rid of toxicity and trolling in this group, because that's what it was built upon, toxicity and trolling. But I think they've got a little bit better. You know, I used to really hate Stud, but he's DM me a couple weeks back, apologizing to me and wanting to squash the beef, you could say. So I think they're mediocre now, but I don't think they're a what is it like? They're like a shadow of what they once were.
So with that being said, I've got to ask you: are they the most ignorant regiment you've ever conquered?
Yeah, that's completely truthful and faithful.
All right, you heard it here first.
Many times.
Dang.
They
You
are
heard
the
it
most
first.
ignorant regiment I've ever conquered.
7th Line Infantry is the most ignorant regiment Lord Cody Kalinius has ever conquered.
Okay.
And that's on giggity.
Now, before we go over this, I'm curious myself, Kings himself probably, but what was your first final exam score?
Well, you see, the final exam back in the day was quite rigged. And death was so strict that if you didn't like write or answer exactly how he wanted it to be, he would like dock you a bunch of points. So my first score might have been a 60,
Out of
but
what?
that doesn't matter. Out of 100
Dude,
and like 1. So that doesn't matter because I then retook the test and got, I believe, like a 93. I passed.
did King
Dude,
pass?
dude, I'm literally missing Unit 1968 game night for this podcast.
Bro,
Dude, good, bro. That game is so freakishly fun to play, but it's like awful.
It is.
bro, I
Dude,
kept, I kept popping
Is it-
Thunder's head yesterday. It was crazy.
Dude, it's like
with the
it's like
sniper.
Call of Duty in the way that like when you get killed and you don't even know from where, it's so annoying.
No, bro, I'd hide in bushes and I'd like shoot Thunder Kid alone. Like I just kept shooting him in the head with a sniper. He got so
Dude,
pissed.
I would farm all fucking businessman and he would be so mad, bro.
Bro, Mr. Duke and Thunder are so annoying because all they do is spam RPGs.
Dude, RPGs are the worst part about that game. They're so annoying. No bullet drop. It's awful.
Alrighty, Cody. Speaking of the whole like 7th Line Infantry and how much you like own them, right? Are you the best leader in the entire CA?
No, that's an awful thing to say. I don't think I'm the best at all. I think there are better. I don't know who.
Like who?
I can see. That's a tough question. I think currently. Oh God, I would have said Death, but he's not here anymore. I think M1's pretty good as a leader. I think Arakami, obviously, he won a season for God's sake. I think Amir's quite good. I'm just looking down the list. Jeffrey Phobic, he's still here. I doubt he leads anymore, but he was quite good. In fact, if Jeffrey Phobic had not hosted my musket training, I would have never become a private within the GMB. But yeah, I don't think I'm the best leader at CA, but I will say I'm quite above average. I'd say I'm pretty good. I'd say, of course, I do have the disadvantage of leading CICG, who are terrible at combat and like 90% of the time do not listen to you. So,
Would you say you're like top 10, top 5?
right now I could say top like 12.
Top 12? Alright, that's respectable.
As in you being like 12 or 11.
9.
9.
So that'd be top 10. Yeah, I don't know what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
why
man.
just say top 12? That's like such a random number.
My bad, cuz
Oh wait, no. I think it's
We're-
because you're thinking of Sweet Pea. That's like his age, right?
oh well, cool. Well, his age would actually be 5, but
Wow.
That is a slanderous allegation that Sweet Pea is going to have to answer when he comes on this podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely.
well, first off, he'll have to learn how to spell first in kindergarten. So,
Okay, Sweet Pea, I hope you're watching this.
I think it's
dude, when he gets on, he's gonna slander me, bro. It's over. My career.
He's coming on here. He's scheduled.
I think he's still cutting
Dude,
out
it's
those like
over.
letters that you have to like glue on the paper that spells like the word D.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I remember doing that in kindergarten, bro. Did second die because you left it, Cody?
Completely, bro. So think about the math here. I left on June 6th, 2022. Second was shut down. I kid you not, about like 1 or 2 weeks later. So, me leaving, which I was most active at CO, their CO being bad, getting replaced by another CO who was really good, but was only given a week. They shut down because they didn't have an active event CO to host events to keep them alive. And who was an active events hoster that kept them alive?
You.
Cody too, bro. And I left, they died. So obviously, the butterfly effect, bro. The butterfly effect.
Okay, I think I should.
Is
tackle
second
this-
coming back?
I think I should tackle the next
No,
question.
no, it's second is not coming back simply for the reason that it's a boring regiment. You know, I had a lot of friends in there. I still talked. Well, not really. They're all like ex-com. They're like non-CA now. But I talked to a lot of friends. I had a lot of friends in there. Some really great people like Josh Normer, USM, who I believe is literally a fucking Air Force pilot now. Buckeye here started to not like me a lot when I was colonel of the ICG because I would beat them. But you know, Clement I still talk to, I think. But yeah, second was really good. It's just a really boring regiment. Out of all the first brigade regiments, there was nothing special about it, bro. Like fifth had like they were good at combat and had a lot of the trolls in there, so it was fun. Marines, like second didn't have an identity. You know, like how Marines were classified as like furries back in the day,
Yeah.
and how like they were a bunch of everything. And second was nothing, cause second wasn't phenomenal at combat, but they weren't bad. Second didn't have trolls in it, but they also didn't have a bunch of strict people like MP.
Second was like third and fifth combined. It was really confusing.
It was really mid. The uniforms are great. If CICG got second uniforms tomorrow, I would cheer. But
Dude, we're not starting this again, dude. We're
Second-
not starting this again.
second just didn't have an identity, and that's why I don't think it'll come back.
Personally, I think our uniform should make our skin tones black,
Okay.
just like automatically. But yeah, going off of that, what are your thoughts on gays and blacks?
I think we should treat all people with respect.
Biased.
Eh.
Yeah.
All right. We're just gonna move on from that. I asked Billy this question, right? But I want your opinion as well because you were high com for a very long time. I feel like
Basically, so I am-
holding such a high, yeah, I feel like holding such a high rank, you guys have to deal with a lot of annoying things. So, what is one or two things that annoy you the most in CICG?
like you said, there is a lot of things. You know, Magic7up, he's fucking awful. But like, there's something that are more annoying than even him. And the most annoying thing in my entire tenure,
Sweepy.
the combat and PRs of CICG. Because no matter how good the leaders are, you can put Majestic Canadian Owl on the left, Alexander Foz on the right, and Death Plays field commanding in the middle, and this regiment would still not get into crown season. Just because of how awful our combat is, and for some reason nobody ever wants to improve except for like the NCOs and officers. Two, because like 90% of the time the LRs just like forget to listen or don't know where places are because they're not taught well in CTs. So with a combination of not listening and being horrendous at combat, and the other regiments we fight, like Marines and 7th and 5th, having the really OG carries who joined back in 2017 when they were 6 years old and have been playing this group for 19 years sitting in one chair, obviously we're going to get our ass kicked. And that's the most annoying thing because nobody in CICG wants to improve except for like the officers and NCOs. So the LRs just like half the time don't listen. And that annoys me a lot. Just the combat because like CICG will never get the respect it deserves just because of how awful we are in combat most of the time in seasons.
Do you have is there any plan that you have to try to fix this?
I've tried several times in the past, and it's just really hard because it's very very tedious. Like having the officers host a lot of like what I try to do sometimes back in like a couple months ago, try to host some ACTs, which are just like advanced combat trainings where I do like combat trainings, but also trying to teach people. And I think more officers should do this. So if officers are listening, you should listen to this. Do a CT, but then have everybody view you by doing like RV all me or something, and like teach them. Say, hey, this is force. It's called force because it's force. This would be the BA left side, the CA right side, and this would be far left because it's on the far left side of the map, or this would be far right if you're on the CA side. This is fishbowl. This is ruins. Teach your attendees what these things are, because when we say go to ruins, there are ruins, guys. Let's go to ruins. Let's go to tents. 6 of you go to tents. 6 of you go to fishbowl. These new guys who have attended one CT hosted by a sergeant who joined about a month and a half ago, and they're not gonna know all these locations. They're not gonna know. They're not gonna know like Forest Ridge. They're not gonna know a lot of this stuff. So you have to teach them, and with teaching, I think that a lot of people could improve. I think NCOs and people who are just either good at combat or listening should start attending CTs because attending CTs keeps you up. It keeps you, learning. You always get better. You can always improve every PR instead of focusing on, oh, we lost. You focus on, hey, this loss will hopefully make us improve for next time. And that's what I think should happen. I think everybody should learn more and just be better.
See, so here's my opinion on the matter. So, like, I think about events, rank-wise. So, like, say, corporal, sergeant, staff sergeant. I think corporals should mainly host BTs and RTs. Like, everyone hosts RTs, but I feel like each rank should focus on a certain event. I think
Yeah.
staff sergeants should focus on CTs because they're the highest, almost the highest.
Yeah, they're the highest.
rank.
Yeah, they're senior NCOs. I agree, and I think that like that's already kind of how it is. Like these corporals really focus on RTs, not really on BTs these days. We're focusing on RTs. Then the sergeants focus on GTs and BTs, and then the staff sergeants. That's the issue right now, Magic. I agree with you. The issue is that our current staff sergeants,
Are inactive.
I'm obviously not the people, but they're not pulling the weight and doing exactly what you said. Primarily hosting combat trainings and guard trainings. They know the most. Well, of course, besides the master sergeants. Master sergeants are obviously the best NCOs. But the staff sergeants know the most out of the lesser NCOs, and they should be able to do this. It's just when they're not pulling the weight to constantly be hosting these CTs and teaching these LRs constantly, then it falls on the officers. And an officer's main job is not to host an event. It's to make sure that everything runs smoothly and to always be there if it doesn't. So when the officers are forced to start spam hosting these CTs and other events because some of the NCOs are not pulling their weight, I think that falls back on the NCOs.
Well, Billy is going to end up watching this, so maybe he'll take some of your advice that you just put out there.
Hopefully, he takes some of it.
Oh, I really hope.
And just one more thing. I asked Billy this too, but I want your opinion. Does the breaking the chain of command annoy you?
So, well,
Like when little Johnny, the new GIT, DMs you the stupidest question that like any corporal can answer.
not particularly, depending on the question. Like, if it's something that actually like matters to a new player, or just any LR, I will, or like an NCO. Like if they don't message you, or like they don't message Fan and he's on, and they message me, I'll still answer them when I'm on and try to help them. If I don't, I'm usually online. I do answer like every single DM. I don't really care. I mean, sometimes like if it's just like little Johnny asking like, "Hey, when can I guard?" or like, "Hey, host GT, sir, I'm gonna defer them to an NCO, like you said. So that stuff, like the basic stuff, like a GIT spam my DMs for promotion, obviously I'm gonna defer them to a promotion staff member so they can post them with the private. 'Cause that's how that should be. It should start off there. Same with events. Events should not be requested in DMs. There's a channel for that, and I'll usually guide them there, or I'll just tell them, "Hey, DM one of you the online NCOs, and they'll do it for you." So I kind of guide them in that way, and then if they still have to like have me answer this phenomenally intellectual question for them, I'll answer it. But I usually try to defer them to put them right back on the straight path. But if it does really matter, then I'll answer it immediately.
All right, so to any LR watching this, you can DM Sweet Pea Jojo 11 for any events you need because we need to see the comeback from him.
Dude, we need to see his
Any staff.
We need
28
this. Yeah,
dude,
we need the Sweet
to
Pea
see
comeback.
Sweet Pea JoJo's 28-3, Patriots 3, Atlanta Falcons 28. We need to see him beat Tom Brady right now, bro.
Yeah, so DM Sweet Pea for events, guys. Literally spam him.
Yep. Okay, moving on. Were you a better CO than Bill?
That kind of like the golden age question depends. During that 5 month time until June, I would say I'm maybe just like a tiny little like 2% above him. Maybe might be
Wow.
sound a little bit egotistical, but like I won't say I'm like completely better than him. He's doing a phenomenal job keeping the regiment in the state that everything's in. But I would just say like we have faltered. There have been some minor things here and there, and obviously with I'm not gonna have more time because he really is improving now. But he'll be better than me no matter what. There's no doubt in my mind that like literally by like next month he'll probably be above me. I'm just saying right now probably like 1 or 2% because it's still, by the time summer comes he'll probably write his name down like 5 stars in the Hall of Fame just because of how great it's gonna be for CITG.
So you are saying that like in D that you were a better CO than Bill.
At this current moment, I believe so, but not by far margins. I don't want to say that at all. I want to say, I don't want to say, yo, I'm far better than Billy, and here's why. Because I don't think I was far better than him. I think that right now, I think at my best, I was, like I said, like 2 or 3% better than him. But I think he's gonna reach that 2 or 3% and much more than that in these next coming months, and he's just gonna be so much of a better CO than anybody has seen. He's gonna be on the top of the likes of Death and No God, who have innovated and changed this regiment forever. But
All right, well, I'll put it up on the screen for everybody watching, but Billy calls you gay for that.
Let's
all
see
right,
this.
bro.
Let's see this. Let's see this.
I'll put it up on the screen for everybody, and then I'll send it into the chat here after. But yeah, Billy says you're gay, Cody.
I bet he does say that. Even though that comes from the guy who has dated 2 men in the past.
What 2 men? Which 2 men?
Yeah.
Let's bring everything out.
Yeah.
Jacob Kalinius and Saint Kalinius.
Okay.
It's wild.
Those are slanderous allegations.
And they're not allegations, they're DM proof.
I think when he,
All right. What do we need, Magic?
I think the reason he dated Jacob was for rank.
He was a major, Jacob was staff sergeant, bro. Pulling those he's not running away from the Jacob is not getting away from the dating for rank allegations, bro.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we're gonna move on from that topic. I feel like you've built up a pretty big hit list. No offense. So who do you hate most in the CA?
It's definitely
Dude.
me.
Julius Irving 6, dude.
Who is that?
You
Nobody.
tell us why.
Oh, he's the most annoying guy you could ever meet, group, bro. So basically, all he does is lead 7th PRs and get absolutely shit on by me, and then he'll start like shit talking me a bunch in officer chat because he lost to me because he's bad, and then he'll start trying to dox me and shit every single time, and then he'll try to and then he'll just talk about politics. Like he'll talk about like guys, did you hear that Tajikistan did this? And he'll do that in lobby. He'll start arguments all the time. When he was an officer in officer chat, it's not leaking. he would just start arguments with every single person, and there's a reason why 95% of everybody who's been above the rank of like Lance Corporal hates this guy, except for 7. The only people that ever wanted him on XCOM was 7.
What about Johnny the 40? Do you hate him?
Yeah, he's terrible at Rocket League. But seriously, I don't think Johnny was that bad. He's a bit annoying sometimes just because of how he was. But
I mean, I was friends with Johnny up until he left.
I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he got bullied because he's sounding young in this group, which I can feel for because I was once a young person in this group.
Yeah, me too, me too. I think we all were at one point. We just kind of hit it.
All joined at kids. I joined when I was 12, so.
I did
I've
too.
been pinged in. I've been pinged in Marines.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're moving on to the next question. Do you think Sweep he's getting Master Sergeant?
Do I think Sweepy's gonna master it? He had to work for it, bro. This kid, he was so great. He was our best NCO for a while. And 1 week, I think he was even better than King when he was NCO. He got Staff Sergeant, and like it's been, oh guys, got hockey. Oh guys, my thing, guys. And then he'll be in a VC with us at like 10 or like 9 at night, and we'll say, hey Sweepy, a lot of people are on. Why don't you go host a BT? And he'll go, nah.
Dang.
He has become so he's just sitting on his rank, and I don't think that if he doesn't show activity in the next coming weeks, he'll probably just be demoted.
But here's my opinion. Why didn't you guys demote him when he wasn't active for 3 weeks?
Why didn't we? Like I said earlier, I think it's just Bellatrix's decisiveness. Because in the end, me, Wild Thunder, King, none of us make the demotion decisions. It's all down to Bellatrix. No matter how much we tell the
Yeah. This isn't really like a dig on Billy because I know you're watching
no,
this,
no.
but we can only give like so much opinion to Billy. He gets the final say so and everything.
Oh yeah, well he is the colonel, which that really makes sense. It's just
Yeah, I mean it makes
Obviously,
sense, but we can
that-
only give we can only give so
much.
much opinion.
Yeah, which is why a lot of the time, previously, more so like during when Billy first got CO again, back like last October, me and him got a lot of quarrels just because we didn't see the right way, because like I'd see one way, but he didn't want to do that, or like I think we should do this now, or he wanted to do it later. But obviously that's all in the past. We've talked to each other a lot about that. We've obviously become better people, but I think just his decisiveness. That's always been his one. Not major flaw, just
So I understand if you don't want to like completely like reveal any major information, but do you have any opinion on who is the next Master Sergeant? Because we still have a wide open spot right there.
Yeah, we do.
Ooh, you bring up a good point. Now, in my
You can
personal
plead the
opinion,
fifth on this one.
No, because I don't know anything. Honestly, Icon Chad is more dead than like a Marines under death like his first week. But like in my opinion, my personal opinion, I think Mr. Duke Dog or Arvin Kalinius.
Solid. I think it's gonna be Duke Dog personally, just because Arvin
Yeah.
just got promoted.
Yeah, Arvin.
Can I throw in
But
Can I throw in a wild card?
yeah, what is it?
And I agree with Mr. Duke Dog getting it because I know you're watching this, so trust me, I agree with that. But hypothetically, a wild card. What do you think about Wildcat?
Wildcat's good.
He's
But
active. He needs to settle like Thunderkid. He needs to settle into his rank right now, just for like another week or two. I think Duke Dog has really showed that he can be active. He can host quality events. He can do a lot.
All right, I guess this might sound like corny to say, I guess, but it's been like a thought in the back of my head, and it's kind of worrying me a little bit. So, do you think that Bill is going to retire anytime soon?
No, I can agree with you here. It has kind of been a thought in the back of my head too. I don't think he would choose to step down. Matter of fact, and
You feel like if he goes, he'll be forced?
yeah, I think I heard this in the Bill next episode. But like, if Mary forces him to, hey, you got to stop doing this video game stuff and focus on your academics and your Catholic life, then I think he'll obviously have to step down. I don't think right now would be the time for him to step down. I don't think he will right now. I think that is like 99 times out of 10 he won't be asked that. But there is that one time, or wait, 99 times out of 100. Sorry, 99 times out of 100 he would not be asked to get off his computer. But there could be that one time where his parents are like, hey, you got to start focusing on your academics. You got to go to college. You're gonna go do this Catholic stuff. Or he just could be overwhelmed by the amount of stuff he does, and might just like think, hey, like especially when he gets like a job, maybe he'll be thinking like, hey, maybe it's like my time. I'm gonna start focusing on life more, and then somebody else will get colonel. I don't know who. That's the biggest question.
And like I'm saying, like this kind of sounds like corny to say, I guess, but like I hope Billy doesn't step down anytime soon, because the day he does step down, it's just everything's gonna change, and
Yeah,
it might not feel the same,
It might. Here's
Yeah.
here's what I'm afraid of. If when he does step down, I'm afraid that a lot of people are gonna leave.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean I think that's inevitable. Like a lot of people are gonna leave. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think
I'm gonna be honest. I can't say I won't consider it.
Yeah. 'Cause,
I mean that depends. If Billinick steps down to something like major, I'm of course staying. Or if he stays officer, if he's fully like Lance Corporal, keeps the high com role, then I'm gonna be like, okay, well, and he doesn't like, oh, it's an impulse decision. It doesn't
So
come back
yeah,
like recommed. Then I think about going to anywhere where my friends are if they're still in the group by then.
Billy, please don't retire. We like you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Billy's like really great. And like you said, I think a lot would change. A lot like how when Billy got removed the first time and Zama came in and he retired, and then Tron came in. When Billy was here, it was kind of like a borderline, you know, racist, fun, like no rules community.
There's nothing
And
wrong with sprinkle a little racism in.
we had a great time. It was the most fun. There wasn't a lot of maturity. I mean, me and Rixley would literally PR 7th, go find our friends in the game and go slashy wave to them.
Man,
And
just
like
really
there
giving
was
them
a
up
lot of
like that.
maturity. But when Tron became Colonel, if you guys don't know Tron,
I know
Tron
him.
is the most strict man you could think of. He got on XCOM because he tried to he treasoned, whatever. He is very strict and doesn't like racism. He hates immaturity, and he wants everybody to be not perfect because nobody can be perfect, but he wants everybody to be in line. And at that time, a lot of people in CICG weren't. You know, Little Geek, Rixley, Death, a lot of them were in CICG. Oh well, Death wasn't, but a lot of them were there, and like even Thunder Kid too. A lot of them were there to have fun and fuck around. And Tron did not like fucking around. Even on off duty, if you went too far, he'd like bring you to a different VC and say, "Hey." Like he did that to me in Billinix. Like I think Billinix said this in a VC earlier. One time he was in a CA VC with Relevant and a couple other questionably racist men, and Billy said a slur, and Tron dragged him to another VC and yelled at him for like 10 minutes, saying that, oh, you're going to destroy the image of CICG. You can't be doing this. It's wrong. Tron really cared. But then Tron calmed down. In December and the end of November and January 23, December 22, like the end of November 22, Tron started to ease into the regiment. He started to let his guard down, and that's when, if you ask like anybody who was there, like the officer course, like me and Billy, back then, like that December, that was really fun because he started to become so much more fun. We have so much more game nights and funny VCs and clips and playing games together. I mean, it was so fun. And
Speaking of games, I'm still missing Unit 1968 for this.
oh my god, bro, join the private server. Send it to a publisher, bro. But yeah, Tron would become Brigadier General, which put me in the place of Colonel, and Tron then started to be more strict again because he was Brigadier General. So he became less and less fun until he eventually got to a big argument with the Gen at the time, or Commander General at the time, Platinum Gideon, and he would be removed, come back, get into another argument with Platinum Gideon, and get removed again. So Tron was a great guy, but It's a shame. But yeah, I think with Billy it would happen the same thing. A lot of people that joined for Billinix and because of Billinix and because of what Billinix had, they would leave if that wasn't kept. And a lot of people that came for what Tron had didn't like what I was doing with the regiment because I was part of a time where maturity wasn't the biggest thing. So I tried to keep some of what Tron had, well, loosening up. So I tried to keep strictness, and that's kind of what we have today. We're mature on duty. We're not idiots, except for Wild. But then we're like off duty. It's really fun, and we're a great community. And that's what I tried to keep, and I think that's one of my innovations that's still in CICG, and I'm glad Bill Mix has kept that because me and him really founded this current community, and I'm really glad that we have this community that me and Bill Mix strive so hard for when he was my XO. Same with Wild when he was eventually XO. I mean, major than XO. But you know, it will be sad when Billy and probably eventually me have to leave, and a lot of other people like Wild and you. King
Yeah, I
Scorpion.
feel like I think it's sort of inevitable when Billy does step down. There's gonna
There's gonna be
CSCG
a
like
lot of
will.
step down.
I'm not. Yeah, a lot of people are gonna leave. I'm not gonna say it'll completely die, but it'll slow down heavily for a while until the new CO gets it rolling again.
That's what
No,
I'm
I
afraid.
think it's
That's what
gonna
I'm
be.
afraid of. That like people are gonna leave, and then like Bill's gonna leave, and then like all the NCOs and officers are just gonna like disappear.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I couldn't say I wouldn't consider leaving because of how much I enjoy Bill.
Yeah, no, this is another thing. Like when Epic and Death left, like they had a big community, and Death is an OG, and well he really cultivated a lot of CICG today, and when he left, a lot of people left the third with him, and that really killed CICD. All of Bill and Nick's options left. He was only left with me, Rixley, Jacob, Businessman, and Jacob. Like that was the only options he had, and a lot of other people left either to third or to another regiment because Death wasn't here. And me, Billy, Rixley, and me, the entire July High Com. That's what we call ourselves because of how fun it was in July, with an era almost. We spent a lot of time trying to make sure that was better. It got there. It was super fun, but that happens, and that's proved many times before. I mean, look at Seven, Maiko, one of the greatest colonels CA had ever seen. He won seasons, and then retired to focus on other groups in life. And look at Seventh now. They used to be able to rally 50. I think the peak rally was like 61, and now they can't. They can barely muster 15. Then that's not a jab. I'm just saying it. You look at GMB. When I was in GMB, Majestic Canadian Owl, we'd rally 36 in a season PR, and Majestic Canadian Owl, my colonel, my boo, he would say, "This is an under rally." Hold on, this is an under rally, guys, and that was crazy. And now look at GMB, where they barely rally 15 against the PR against third. It's been seen many, many times before where when great COs leave, a lot of people go with them. And it takes a long time to recreate that greatness. Look at Death in third. Well, Maiko, Death, and Rel in third. Because they were all high come together, basically. Look at, like I said, Majestic with GMB. Look at all these other great regiments that have had phenomenal, some of the best colonels we've ever seen. And then the fall off they've had because those colonels left. And now we're currently in a big phase where a lot of regiments are having to deal with recreating what they had, and rallies and combat and everything. And I think that could happen to CICG because it's happened so many times in CA before. Who says it won't happen again?
Bro, what was that?
Dude, this guy has a whole last nuclear reactor behind him, bro.
What, me?
Yeah,
Dude,
you.
what was that?
I've said it in people. I said it in trainings a lot. People drag race down the street by my house. That's what that was.
Oh my god.
They drag race down the
No,
street.
bro,
Dude,
sounded like a
I think
UFO
that's
or
actually Dude, I
That's
think
what that was.
wild. I think that's actually wild doing drifting outside of your house in his 2002 Ford truck.
Alrighty, fellers, that has been another installment of the CA's best podcast, The Daily Guardsmen. I have been your host, King.
I have been your co-host, Magic.
Cody, please say something.
Oh, my bad, my bad. I've been the guest, Cody.
That's
All right, and we will see you for the next very special installment of the Daily Guardsman. Thank you for watching,
Bob.
fellers. Bob Gate.